All right, guys, welcome to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric. We have Sean and Lewis in the servicing area getting some work done right now. We have a brand new Gen 3 busa in here. Now this one's already been worked on by Chris Moore, so it already has a tune in it. It's got a full exhaust system. It has a full Brock's alien head exhaust system along with a Sprint POA air filter, okay? What we are going to do is right now we're gonna baseline it because he said he did baseline it, or again, he got it tuned over at More Mafia, and they've already tuned the bike. They've already dialed it in, but all I wanna do is I just wanna baseline on our dyno with the new location to see what the numbers are gonna produce, air fuel, all of the things, okay? Now, it's a different day, so, because I know some people are probably gonna pick apart the air fuel and like all these other little things. Just keep in your mind, this is not, and I have to reiterate this almost on every video that I do, this is not like a bashing video or anything like that. I have not ran the bike yet. The air fuel might be perfect down here in Florida's weather. It's a little chilly today. Not cold, but it's a little chilly. It's getting warmer right now. It's gonna be like low 70s today. So it's actually gonna be a beautiful day. So this thing should lay out some decent power. We're gonna see. And then what we are gonna do is we're actually gonna change out and do a set of Brock's camshafts. And then we're also gonna do the alisyn oil. So the less than zero weight oil with the additive and all that jazz. Those actually, that will pick up a little bit of power as well. I've tested that before on a dyno with a Gixxer 1000. I had a built motor, but either way, it's all relative, right? If you're gonna gain power from something, you're gonna gain power from something. It don't matter if it's a built motor or not built motor. The oil is not really congruent on if it's a built motor or not. It can still help on a stock motor setup. So. All right, guys, we got Rastaman over here. So we got this Gen 3 busa moving along. So we baselined it on the dyno. And truth be told, I forgot the numbers, but it was, I want to say it was like mid 170s, low 170s. With the stretch, that's kind of what I was expecting with all the modifications done. We'll analyze the graphs and everything at the end. We'll go over it. But right now, what Lewis is working on is getting this cylinder head all ready to go for the new cams. Let me get on the other side so I can let him work. So currently right now he's getting the cam caps off, right? Or are you getting them on?
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
okay.
Taking them off.
All right, taking them off, all right. So right now he's getting the cam caps all out so that way he can start the process of swapping these cams. That's okay, we'll find that. So we're gonna do the cams, and then like we also talked about earlier, we're gonna do the oil. So he's gonna need a new oil filter with that. So he didn't supply us with a new oil filter, but that's okay. Whenever you guys are mixing oils, mixing different viscosities and different weights and everything, you definitely want to change out that oil filter because you're gonna have that other oil mixed in with it. So with that obviously being said, you're going to want to go ahead and swap that filter out. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well on this build. We're going to get that done. So we're going to let Lewis work, but all in all, once we get all this finished up, we're going to go ahead and throw it back on the dyno, obviously, and get some new numbers for you guys and get it all dialed in and see what she wants to produce. But beautiful bike, like I said earlier. This bike is absolutely gorgeous. I love the black.
I like all black.
Don't let Sean hear us on that one. I'm just playing. We got a nice little Suzuki Cowie feud going on in here.
As always.
As always. But yeah, I can't get enough of this bike. Guys, comment down below. Tell us what you think about the Gen 3 busas. I know we had a lot of mixed opinions on one of the videos that we already went over. But tell us down below, comment down below, what do you guys think about the new Gen 3 busas? I mean, yeah, they're a little underpowered from the factory, but at the same time, these engines are absolutely stout and they can take a much better camshaft. Honestly, I mean, they could take a big cam on these things and yeah, it could take a bigger one than Brock's. You know, we still have those cams. I got to go find it. Those other drop-ins.
They're in the other Brock's box.
Okay. So we still have those other cams if you guys are interested. Ideally, we want someone kind of locally so that we can install them in their bike and test them out on the dyno, which we already have some dyno numbers, but every bike's a little different. So it would be kind of fun to go ahead and compare those to the Brock's cams and see how they go. So the Gen 3, Lewis has the cams all in there. They're all installed, the new Brock's cams. Right now, what he is doing is checking valve clearance. Now, we've already been through this on a couple of videos where we've checked the clearance and they're okay. What we wanted to tell you guys is that we check them no matter what. So this one has a little bit of mileage on it. Some of the other bikes that we've had come through here, some of the Gen 3s, they have some mileage on them now, okay? These bikes are getting a little bit older now. As time goes on, there's gonna be more and more of these bikes that are coming in with higher mileage, and those clearances aren't gonna be perfect, right? The low mileage ones, more than likely they're going to be fine. You know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 miles, and so on, you know, up to a certain limit. So, but as these are coming in and they're 10,000 plus miles or so, we are going to, no matter what, we check them. We always want to make sure, even if there's something funky going on, we want to make sure that we know, because our name is going to be on this bike. The last thing we want to do is send this bike out with problems, you know, and because we just did, we wanted to cut what? A little bit of time on the on figuring out the clearances, if you will. So, but all in all, I'm gonna go ahead and let Lewis get on it and let him focus on that. I've got another bike that I need to finish up on the dyno, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. But I'm gonna jump back over here whenever he gets everything checked and he starts reassembling, and we'll film some of that, and then we'll keep it moving, guys. All right, guys, so we got the Gen 3 busa all up on the lift. Lewis got it lowered. We lowered it about a ½ inch or so, just a nip over a ½ inch, just kind of give it a little bit better of a stance. Did you get those? Yeah, nice. We also swapped out these bolts. He had these big hex heads hanging down a little low, so we got him some flush mount Allen heads in there, and they're aluminum, so just in case, but we think he's gonna clear. Oh, actually, no, those are the plastic. These are the push pins. Nice. Cool, I like that. We're gonna slap the tank back on it. We're gonna get it fired up, and we're gonna get this thing running. And then we're gonna take it to the dyno and retune it and show you guys what this thing can do. The Gen 3 busa is all dressed back up. It's on the lift. So we've lowered the front a little bit. You can tell now it's sitting right. It's not sitting kind of up like that. Now it's nice and planed out. So we lowered the front. We gave him about a ½ inch like we talked about. The cams are all in. We got the tank on. Lewis is going to go ahead and fire it up. Nice. High five. Woohoo! All right. Bam! So the Brock's cams are in it. We did the oil change. We did all the basic stuff. So now one thing I did notice is with whatever map is in there. Now again, the previous work was done somewhere else. It was Chris Moore had done the original work. So that original map that was designed for this bike no longer works with these camshafts and everything. So, and I'll kind of show you real quick. We'll get the bike fired up. We'll try to be a little quick with it since the room's closed off now, but let the sensor heat up. So there you have it. This is in idle. It's running real rich at idle. So this is gonna be one of the things that we're gonna fix, obviously, with the new camshafts. So I just wanted to show you guys, get you guys an idea. But let me get my mask on, let me get my respirator on since the room's closed off now, and we're gonna make a baseline full on this. Then we're gonna start tuning, all right? To show you something interesting here. So I pulled up his baseline here, as you can see, and now I don't know yet what's going on. I really don't know, but what I wanted to show you is that we made 168 with the stock setup and then 91 pound-foot of torque, and that was the red line here. So notice this red line is nice and smooth. It's really not that bad of a curve. It looks really good. With the cams that we installed and the oil change and everything, look how off now this mapping is. So either we have something going on mechanically with this bike, or we've got something off. Now, granted, this was the tune that was in there. So again, this tune was not designed for the cams and all that jazz. This was designed for something else. So we are off drastically here with this map. So we're gonna see, we're gonna do a couple passes here. We're gonna see what this thing looks like. If we're still really far off and something else is going on, we're gonna diagnose this bike and kind of get to the bottom of this. But for right now, we just put a base map in there. I can't read out the ECU, so unfortunately I couldn't really see any data inside the ECU. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna, like I said, we put this baseline in. It's one of the bikes that we've already did a cam job on. So we're gonna see what happens, and we're gonna go from there. So let's see what it does. So we got this Gen 3 busa back on the dyno, all right? So the last time I ran this busa, we were having a little bit of an issue, and something didn't look right. I did about 1 or 2 pulls. I think I did 2 pulls. Something didn't look right. AFR looked crazy. Power curve looked crazy. And it was like, something's going on with this. We weren't sure if it was the tune, you know, which I was kind of like, I started analyzing some of the other tunes that I had done for these that we did the cams in, and I'm going, all right, it's definitely not the tune. It's got to be something else. It's got to be cam timing. It's something happened, right? So we ended up taking the bike off the dyno, getting it back in the other areas, breaking everything down and doing an inspection real quickly. Come to find out, the exhaust camshaft had hopped a tooth on accident, and look, these mistakes are made sometimes. You know, we're not perfect, okay? But the exhaust camshaft was off by 1 tooth. Given that it was off by 1 tooth, it completely screws up the power band. It really messes up a lot of stuff. So this is why it's good to have the knowledge that we have to be able to look at something, analyze something, know that something's not right, stop it before anything happens, and fix it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say this out loud for those of you who are kind of new, or for some of those who are gonna say, oh, you damaged the motor because you were off a tooth, or I don't know, just whatever. It's the internet, what do you expect? No, you're not gonna hurt basically an OEM motor with more or less like an OEM style camshaft. Even because they're super stocks, they're not massive cam. Now, if these were big camshafts, right? They were massive, big old lift, big duration. That's a little bit of a different story. That you have to make sure your cam degree is correctly, or at least like in a range of being safe, right? You got to make sure of that, and you got to measure all the other stuff, right? Piston valve clearance, whatnot. So, given that this is a stock head, it's not been cut, and also given the fact that these are kind of a mild upgraded cam, the Hayabusa has a lot more room to grow, right? So I know that being off a tooth, we're not really gonna damage anything. It's not really gonna destroy anything. It's just gonna have a really crappy power curve, and it's gonna look a little funky. So, and I'm gonna go over all of that with you guys here at the end of the video, okay? I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Now, not all the time, being off a tooth, is it gonna look like this? I just knew something was off, but clearly we did the cam, so I'm like, all right, looks like cam timing is off. But all in all, I'll show you guys those curves, and we'll go over it at the end of the video. But with that, let's warm this bad boy up, and let's do some more pulls, and let's see where it's sitting at now with the cams in proper time, okay? Here we go. right, guys, we got that busa all wrapped up. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over the baseline, so the previous flash and tune, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna overlay what the incorrect cam timing looks like, and then we'll overlay the final, okay? So on the baseline, how the bike came in, it made 171 with 103. This was before the camshafts, and this was tuned and other work done at the previous shop, all right? Nice curve, everything looks good, and then it kind of goes flatlined up here, which is kind of what we expect with those types of stacks, right? It's kind of what I was expecting. So this run was the incorrect cam timing. So you noticed we had a very rich mixture. Almost the entire pull was pig rich. And then we had this crazy power loss throughout the entire power band. Even up top, we had power loss. So usually, if you're like kind of within a range on an air-fuel ratio, even if your cam timing is, or when your cam timing is on, you're gonna gain power no matter what, because it's a bigger cam. So this is how you kind of know that your cam timing is off, guys. It's making way less power throughout the entire power band. Like I said, even if you're like kind of close to the air fuel, if your cam timing was good, it would have bumped up no matter what. So immediately I thought, all right, something's going on. We need to stop this dyno session. Let's end it, okay? It's making less power, less torque. Something's not right. Let's stop. So we stopped it, and we re-inspected everything, and here is our final numbers. So on the final runs, we ended up getting 188 wheel with 109 pound-foot of torque, and a really, really good overall curve, to be honest with you. This thing we picked up, so the way it came in versus how it's leaving, it picked up a solid, what are we at, 17 wheel horsepower? Yeah, that's pretty substantial. So we picked up a solid 17 wheel up top. Now again, this is just the camshafts that we really have done. You know, we picked up probably a couple of horsepower with the oil, maybe a couple of horsepower, but all in all, we picked up, I would still venture out to say we picked up probably 15 wheel horsepower with these cams. So really, really impressive. Very, very impressive. Now, and mind you, this was a bike that was already tuned and dialed in by Chris Moore. So the tune was good. It was a good tune. We still picked up 17 wheel with the mods here that we've done today. So keep that in your minds. But all in all, we had gains throughout the entire power band with the camshafts in. So I can't stress it enough to you guys that I highly recommend getting these cams. We've been pitching them like crazy to Gen 3 owners. We're like, dude, if you really want the most out of the bike, just do these drop-in cams. It wakes the bike right up. For everyone complaining about the Gen 3s, about how they lack that top-end power band, this is, between this and velocity stacks, this is your solution right here. Super, super simple. You know, you have to pair it with obviously a full exhaust system and a air filter. I would recommend that, but all in all, you can still get very good numbers out of these Gen 3s with just some drop-ins and, like I said, some minor mods. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. If you guys could hit that like and subscribe button, please. We are growing every day thanks to you guys. The shop is looking better and better every single day. We're chipping away at it. We're doing all these little upgrades for you guys. So if you could, please, again, like, subscribe to the channel, and see you on another episode.